Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of the Armory. Basically, this is where I talk about some of my favorite weapons from TV shows, anime, movies, etc., etc. Just, just kind of break them down about why I like them and some interesting things about them. For today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the Omnitrix from the TV series Ben 10. I will go ahead and tell you ahead of time when it comes to this video, I will be kind of talking in spoilers about Ben 10, so if you care about that at all, don't watch this. I will be covering stuff from Ben 10 to Ultimate Alien, because that's what I'm mostly familiar with. I'm not that familiar with Omniverse. I got maybe about halfway through, so that's something I'm gonna have to go back and finish. And I have not really watched the rebooted series, so I don't know if a lot of the stuff I'm saying about the Omnitrix now still applies in the more rebooted series. So just keep that all in mind going forward. If you're unfamiliar with what the Omnitrix is, the Omnitrix is a watch-like device that goes on someone's wrist / forearm a little bit. Ben Tennyson, the original, the character who has this device most of the time, when he was a kid, he referred to him turning into heroes, when in actuality it's him turning into aliens, because basically the Omnitrix holds the DNA of like a multitude of aliens like all across, I think it's not even just one galaxy, I think it's multiple galaxies, or maybe it is just that one particular galaxy. I don't really remember, but like there's like a crap ton of aliens inside of their DNA inside of the Omnitrix. Now, I was talking about Ben having it most of the time because the device isn't just specifically made for Ben. Like, it's a device that like landed on Earth and he just happened to find it. There's actually some what if episodes. I think there's one if like Gwen found it, but really it's like tied to anyone. If you find it, you can wear it. So it's not specifically, I mean, to a certain degree, because the moment you put the Omnitrix on, it's kind of hard to get off. There are special circumstances. I think there's certain codes that you can put in to remove it, but I don't think they've ever, like, at least between Ben 10 and Ben 10 Alien Force, like, he ended up losing it. Not losing it, but it just got removed. But I don't think they've ever really explained how that ever happened. Maybe they did, but to my recollection, they did. So typically, probably the only good way to get the Omnitrix is to cut off someone's arm. Essentially, is the only way you could ever get it. That's kind of what VIDS, one of the main antagonists of the series, kind of always did when it came to getting the Omnitrix. It's actually kind of interesting that I refer to the Omnitrix as a weapon because it was not originally designed to be one. Asmith, the creator of the Omnitrix, originally made it because he wanted it to kind of be like a device of representing peace. Like the device that Ben has is a prototype. But basically, he wanted everyone to know what it's like. It's kind of like walk a mile in someone else's shoes type of thing. Like, he wanted every species to be able to understand what it's like to be this species of alien, or this species, or this, that. That way, like, there'd be more understanding. That's his main reason for creating it. But obviously, like, people like Bill Gates wanted to use it as a weapon. And obviously, you have Ben using it as a weapon, but as a weapon for justice. Bill Gates wanted to use it to kind of take over, like, worlds and universes and stuff like that. There are many cool, interesting things about the Omnitrix. Like, for one, initially when Ben gets it, there's like a 10-minute limit to how long he can actually transform, when in actuality there actually is no limit. It's just like Ben doesn't know how to operate the Omnitrix to its fullest potential, which I think is such a fascinating thing. It's like he has this powerful weapon, but he can't utilize it to its fullest extent, mainly because Asmith put a lot of limiters in there, and on occasion he helps Ben like unlock its full potential, but usually it's only for a limited amount of time. Because I talked about it recently in another video, but Ben's kind of a conceited hero, so I'm sure Asmith does that a lot of times because he doesn't want Ben like having all that power. Like, even if Ben's a good guy, that's too much power for one person to hold. So what he'll occasionally do is, like, especially considering Ben's like a fledgling, he's a young kid and even a teenager at one point in time, so it's like that's too much power to be giving to him. So it having limits, he has to kind of be smart about how he uses the Omnitrix. Like I've talked about it too, on occasion he does kind of abuse it and it ends up backfiring on him, making it so that he gets stuck as an alien on some occasions and can't turn back. There's other occasions where he'll be stuck turning into the same new alien because he was fiddling with the device trying to get more aliens. As I mentioned, there are a crap ton of aliens DNA within the Omnitrix. It's been a while, so I don't actually remember what the exact number is in the Omnitrix. At the very least, there is 10,000 because Ben has crossed paths with his future self, who's referred to as Ben 10,000, because he can turn into 10,000 different aliens. So at the very least there's that many, but there's definitely the potential for a lot more. I feel like they might have referred to the number at some point in the series, but once again, it's been such a long time since I've seen any Ben 10 that I don't really remember. Another interesting thing about it too is its design. Like, its design changes from series to series. Like, obviously it's a lot wider in the original Ben 10, but going forward throughout the series, it kind of got shorter. It actually looked a lot more watch-like in Alien Force and forward. And now another interesting thing about the whole like turning into aliens thing that it's just kind of an aspect about Ben that I always thought was kind of interesting, is the fact that he gives his aliens nicknames. Like, they all have their own, these are existing species, so they all have their own, like, you know, actual names. Granted, I'm not that familiar with their names, so usually I refer to the aliens as the names that Ben kind of gives them as their, you know, superhero names. Ben has his own naming convention. Sometimes it's literal and sometimes they're kind of own words. So for example, he has one called Forearm because it's literally an alien with 4 arms. There's another one that's called, I think, Heat Blast, because it's literally a fire alien. But then he has others, like take for example, Very Fast Alien. He refers to as XLR8, which is a play on the word accelerate. So, you know, it's stuff like that I always thought was kind of interesting. Really, that's all I wanted to talk about in this episode. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest and enjoy it. Good day and good